to know.
I won't tell you what ours is, but can you tell us what yours is?
Hey, so like I'm like not gonna tell you ours, but like will you tell me yours, please?
This is probably
Oh,
gonna
like
be.
I'm actually not doing marching band next year, so I just
Got
want to
2
know what
minutes.
yours
Go
is.
ahead. Hey,
It's probably
so remember, you guys have the pro sessional
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Vandermeer, and I am proud to be the principal here at Deer Park Junior Senior High School. We are here tonight to celebrate our class of 2025. So I hope you are here and ready to have fun and truly celebrate a great class. I want to start by giving a big shout out to our watch party over at the gym. We've got an overflow crowd. I'm going to ask you to take your cell phones out. Make sure they are on mute so that we do not interrupt anything. Also, make sure that any other electronic devices that you have, that you would have them off as well. Remember, this is a huge occasion for our students. We want to make sure that all students have the opportunity to have their name called. And so we will ask you to respect that and make sure that we're celebrating in the right manner and making sure that everybody can be heard. At this time, I would like to thank several special guests and would ask them to stand if they are here. We have a couple of folks over in the gym as well, but if you're with us over here, would you please stand when I introduce you? Mr. Jay Phillips, Superintendent of Deer Park Community City School District. Ms. Peggy Bossy, President of the Board of Education. Mr. Paul Godwin, Vice President of the Board of Education. Ms. Chris Huster, Member of the Board of Education. Ms. Karen Kellums, Member of the Board of Education. Ms. Kara McCormick, Member of the Board of Education. Additionally, I would like to thank Ms. Krista Buckhoser, Assistant Dean of Instruction at Scarlet Oaks Career Center. And at this time, would members of our Central Office Administrative team please stand? And I know we've got them kind of spread out a little bit everywhere, but any staff members or administrative staff from the junior, senior high school or staff members from Amity Elementary, would you please stand at this time? Thank you all for your time and guidance that you have given our students throughout the year. Mr. Bauer and our state award-winning band. Let's get this party started. Let's give them a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you would please stand for the playing of our national anthem. As we begin tonight, I do want to take one moment to thank another person. She will not be happy with me when I do this, but as you can imagine, the planning that goes in for all of this is just unbelievable. There's absolutely a ton of people that helped and were a part of it, but there is one person that led that and made sure everything was where it needed to be and what we needed to do. So I would like to ask Ms. Corey Madden to step out for just a second, if we could give her a big round of applause. All right, so if you've been to these the last couple of years, you know I like to take just a minute and give this great class a little bit of a charge of from here of where to go and what they're doing. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a tremendously talented group of young people. I don't know if you had a chance to be at the award ceremony the other night, but there was a lot of money handed out. We had students getting full rides or full tuition to like places like the University of Miami, University of Cincinnati. We've got students going to the University of Maryland. We've got students going to the academies. We've got students that are going straight into the workforce. They are an extremely talented group, and they have represented us so well, and so I am so very, very proud to stand up here with them. Could we give them one more round of applause for that? One of the things that I like to do is I like to give them a little bit of something to take with them to kind of remember. If you were with us last year, I brought my Kentucky E's out, and we'll not be doing that this year, so you do not have to worry about that. But I gave each student an original California raisin, and it was all about you guys raising the kids. And I talked to one of our students the other day that graduated from last year. He said he took that raisin and put it on his dresser in his bedroom, so that every morning when he got up, he wanted to remember where he was from and where he wanted to go. And so that's kind of my hope for you guys with the small gift that I give you today, that it will just kind of help you to remember that. I want to give something that they can carry or have, so it's usually maybe like a keychain or something like that. That is what I have for this year, that they can put on their keys or put somewhere where they can find them. The reason why I chose this was because of the three things that it said. And the first thing it is you have the memories of where you've been. And so I want you to take just a second and think about, and some of you K through 12, and some of you just joining us as as you went through your school years, of all of your memories. All of your great memories and all of your tough memories. And everything in between because that is what made you who you are today. And whether it was Parker's, whether it was band, whether it was color guard at 6 o'clock on Saturday mornings, whether it was soccer, whether it was basketball, whether it was football, whether it was chorus, whether it was track and cross country, whether it was baseball, whether it was volleyball, whether it was Chick-fil-A Academy, whether it was Superintendent's Council, no matter what it was, even Dungeons and Dragon Club. All of that is memories that you will always have. And you should never forget those. Because, like I said, some good, some not so good, it has made you who you are today. The second thing I want you to understand is when you walk across this stage today and you are handed that diploma over there, nobody can ever take that away from you. And it does not matter. And it does not matter if you did it with flying colors and you're valedictorian of the class or you barely got here yesterday. You got it, and you earned it, and it is yours. And that is your passport for the second. It opens all the doors that you have opportunities to go wherever you want. I am so impressed with our speaker that's coming today, who is a Deer Park grad, who took that opportunity with that diploma, and I'm going to read you in a few minutes all of the amazing things that she has done, but that's what this diploma will give you the opportunity to do in the future. So it is a blank book right now, folks, and you have an opportunity, no matter what's happened up to this point, to make it what you want to make it. So go out, don't let anybody stop you, you roll up your sleeves, you go to work, and you go get whatever it is that you want to get, because you now have that diploma that opened that first door to many doors, and you have earned it. And congratulations to that. The last piece of this talks about the people that surround you, and that is these folks right here. And they are the ones that have been beside you all the way through, from wiping your diapers to cleaning up your puke to everything else. They have always stood beside you, no matter how bad things got or the big celebrations. They have been here with you all the time through everything. And my mom is 91 years old, and she's still giving me wisdom, and she is still my biggest cheerleader, and that's what those folks will be doing for you. Do not ever forget who helped you to get to where you are today. So now we're going to give them a big round of applause. All right, that was terrible. They've been really good. That was terrible. We're going to try that again, and let's give them a big round of applause, please. This is a great day and a great opportunity for all of our students. As we continue our program, I am going to ask Elena Morales and Samantha Hobney to come to the podium. They are a member of our Superintendent's Student Leadership Program for a special award.
Can we please invite Mr. Phillips to the podium? In recognition for your years of dedication and leadership and service in the Deer Park Community Schools,
the graduating class of 2025 would like to thank you for your leadership, dedication, and constant support. You have made a real difference in our lives. Wishing you the best in your next chapter. You will always be a part of our story.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And they're lucky that they don't have school anymore. I would have got them for that one. Thank you, ladies.
I do have to tell one story on Mr. Phillips. When we have things going on and we're trying to figure things out, he always leaves his email with, and the treasurer from Fairfield does not have to do this. So we appreciate all the years that you have done it for us. Thank you so much. At this time, I would like to ask our class president, Ms. Laura Bayer, to come to the podium.
Good evening and welcome, everyone. Today is the day we graduates have been longing for since we first walked into those doors 6 years ago. They always told us to enjoy it because it goes fast. But if you are like me, you would have laughed and said, "Oh, please, we still have 6 years." But here we are, reminiscing every day from the past 6 years, the good things, the bad things, and saying, "I can't wait for all of this to be over." But let's take tonight to both dwell on the past and be excited about the future. We are all taking a leap and going in many different directions, whether that is diving straight into the workforce, taking a year, or heading off to college. One thing I want to say to all of you again is enjoy it. Enjoy this day with your friends and enjoy this summer with them. Enjoy the fact that you never have to put your phone in a yonder pouch again. I'm so grateful I get to stand up here today and look at all of you one last time and say congratulations. We did it. For old time's sake, and for the 3rd year in a row, taking one last picture with everyone, so smile big and never forget where you came from. And from the wise words of Troy Bolton, once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. Congrats, class of 2025.
At this time, I now have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Laura Grace Godwin, who is a 1991 graduate of Deer Park High School, where she was active in sports. She was active in band, and she is a proud former field commander and also theater. She is now an associate professor of theater at Christopher Newport University in Newport News, Virginia. She holds a degree from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, the Shakespearean Institute of Stratford-upon-Avon, University of Birmingham, UK, and Ball State University. She has taught at Parkland College in Champaign, Illinois, and New Mexico State University. In addition to her work teaching, she also has worked in theater, arts administration, English, medieval and early modern studies, museum studies, and honor courses at CNU. She spends her summers in London teaching Shakespeare. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. Dr. Godwin regularly publishes with nationally recognized and international journals. Her scholarship often conducted in collaboration with students. It has been presented on 2 continents and across this country. In recent years, she has returned to her roots as a theater practitioner with training in design technology, stage management, and dramaturgy. I'm not sure what that is, but your sister definitely wanted that in there. She is founding artistic director of the James River Shakespeare Company, a collaborative professional theater in coastal Virginia, and also an H3 company, which is dedicated to intellectual experiment, diversity, and inclusion. Her recent production of Carrie, the musical, based on Stephen King's novel, and I told Miss Godwin we are not doing that performance here, was littered with DPHS Easter eggs, not least her own letter jacket, graffiti on the scenery with the names of her favorite teachers, and our school colors. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Godwin.
Thank you, Mr. Vandermeer, for the introduction. And thank you to the Board of Education, Superintendent Phillips, the Deer Park High School faculty, staff, family, friends, and of course graduates for welcoming me to this occasion. This is a little weird. I know the tradition of an alumni speech at graduation is relatively new. I'm honored to join an impressive company of speakers and to deliver the commencement address in a room and at an institution central to the life of this community, as well as to my family, who have, as students, volunteers, and faculty, benefited from and served it for nearly 50 years. As my introduction suggests, I've been thinking about high school a great deal in recent months, not only because of the aforementioned production of Carrie the Musical, which was indeed very Deer Park coded. My prom date is here tonight, by the way, but also due to preparations for this moment. I've picked up 5 diplomas on my own, and I witness others doing so on an annual basis as part of my job. In fact, earlier today, I attended my university's 2025 commencement via video in order to congratulate our theater seniors before getting robed up to congratulate you here this evening. Yet as familiar as the strains of pomp and circumstance are to me, a high school-based fear of sharing my writing or speaking in public on any occasion, much less one as important as graduation, rendered my task today rather daunting. As a scholar, I invariably turn to research in times of doubt, but trolling through various guidelines and reading addresses by speakers more charismatic or famous than I only compounded my unease. The pro tips all stressed finding things in common with an audience through reference to shared experience. Yet having graduated myself and moved away more than 30 years ago, time and space conspire against me. I am a different person than that 1991 graduate. I go by a different name. I no longer loathe Shakespeare. In fact, I owe my best work and this cunning hat to him. Most importantly, I gave up trying to be normal enough to fit in. On a rare occasion, I've even tried to stand out a bit. Deer Park High School is a different place too. When I graduated, the marching band had never once been to state and was most definitely not the largest student organization. This very auditorium was a safety hazard rather than a technological wonderland with new lighting instruments and a booth that would have awed the 7th grade spotlight operator who did her very first technical theater work just off stage behind me. At the time, the baseball team benefited from dugouts to protect them from chilly March winds, but the softball team did not. Even today, my hands ache when I recall the frigid vibration of an aluminum bat on the all too few occasions when I managed to make contact with a pitch. Back then, by the way, those pitches were slow. And yet, if I squint back through time, I find much is the same, including the stadium we were to occupy this evening, even in its remodeled state. Stepping onto that field on a humid August night years ago for my first outing as the sole field commander of a small marching band consisting of 25 instrumentalists alongside 12 in the guard, I was sanguinely nervous. I had wanted to be field commander since grade school, and I finally felt that I had earned something that meant something. My most vivid memory of that night, however, is not climbing onto a red wooden box and doing a thing that I'd always wanted to do, but the moment an adult-type person approached me after halftime. They complimented the performance, but then asked, "Who shouted the commands for you? You're always so quiet. It couldn't have been you." I corrected said adult-type person politely, but found myself internally irritated by the assumption. Not an assumption that I was quiet, I certainly was, but that I couldn't use my voice when occasion demanded. It is in that moment, so long ago in that stadium, where I think I found a means to voice the shared experience so fundamental to speeches like this. Many of you come from long-established Deer Park families with generation after generation traceable in the senior portraits that line the walls outside the gym. In all too short a time, my niece Ginny and nephew Henry will join your ranks. Even if you were first-generation Deer Park, as my sister, my hero, Miss Godwin, and I were, the weight of history can be daunting. As all Wildcats learn in ticking the boxes of each grade from 1 to 12, we accumulate reputations and generate assumptions, some made by others, others by ourselves. It becomes all too easy to believe that the boxes in which we've been placed, or those we clamor on or fall into, will lock us in place for the rest of our lives. But as the title character in Carrie the Musical said in the pivotal moment of my production, just because something or somebody seems one way, it doesn't mean it is that way. Your graduation portrait may be forever fixed in the hallowed halls of this building, but you, the graduating person, are compelled to make choices and changes from this moment on. In doing so, you can be or become something or anything that is different than the sum of the assumptions that surround you. How does that happen? I suppose it's different for everyone. But lessons from my own evolutions, even in my 50s, they're ongoing, and from thousands of college students I've learned from and with over the years, teach me that confounding assumptions involves acknowledging, yet facing your fears with the freedom to fail. Whether you're running towards or running away, you're moving. Valuing curiosity and cleverness instead of certainty and complacency. Answers are great, but it's the questions that keep you on the move. Finding the right people for all the rooms you're in. They're the ones who move with you and for your team in one of the many right directions from which you can choose. Embracing rigorous reconsideration towards the unique rather than unthinking commitment to the popular. Choices made are rarely final. Make the most right move, even, especially perhaps, when it means admitting you were less right or even totally wrong before. Changing your own mind or the minds of others isn't always an easy process, as we whose brains have been challenged throughout our education know. It's hard enough when one is learning new things, but when it comes to ingrained assumptions, to use a phrase inspired by the multi-sport venue outside, it's a whole other ballgame. Many of you graduating today might know you seek a new path, whether that means a tiny adjustment or a major U-turn, and you're ready to go. Others could find themselves in the challenging position of yearning for change, but not knowing what change they seek, a position I can recognize from my own graduation day. And I'm sure some of you will even be comfortable with and confident in who you are, how you're perceived, and the path you envisioned or even laid out ahead of you. You're no doubt wondering how this speech applies to you. It applies because change comes to all of us, whether we want it or not. Amy Cook, a scholar who uses neuroscience to study theater, reminds us of this when she writes, quote, "However I might cast myself as some stable being with a relatively consistent personality, this idea is a fiction that holds me together. I am not the same person I was 10 years ago in most of the ways that count. My cells have changed, my memories have changed, my knowledge has changed. In order to remain convinced of my identity, I have to block out the recognition that the majority of what constitutes me is always in flux and precarious," end quote. That's something of a scary thought for any of us, graduates or not, but it's also why I take this privileged platform to encourage everyone to reconsider the idea of assumptions. Rather than understanding them as truths, I invite all of you to consider another definition of the word that involves laying claims or taking possession. To put it in theatrical terms, as I am wont, write your own script. Don't let others do it for you. I've mentioned Carrie quite a bit, and I should, of course, acknowledge, no spoilers, but if you know, you know, neither Stephen King's novel, the rightly famed film, nor what has been called the worst musical of all time conclude well. As I conclude my speech, a key lyric from the title song comes to mind, with Carrie wondering, if I am changing, will I still be? Or what if I am somebody new? She asked the questions both in fear and hope, suggesting that the answer can be both and. Like the high school that will forever link us to Deer Park, one can change for the better and still remain the best of the same. Congratulations, graduates, and thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, at this time, we want to introduce our salutatorian and valedictorian. At this time, I would like to ask Ms. Kaylee Ray Atkins to join me at the podium. Kaylee Ray Atkins is our class of 2025 salutatorian. Throughout her high school experience, Kaylee has participated in many different clubs, classes, and extraordinary performances. Participating in extracurriculars such as volleyball, Hope Squad, newspaper, National Honor Society, International Club, and CommuniServe, along with the experiences that she had day to day by putting her class time towards impactful projects and helping to run events. With many difficult classes under her belt, she still found time to personally grow with new experiences provided by working and taking on new responsibilities, overcoming challenges with her education, and singing in the school choir during concerts and parkers. Admitted to Miami University, let's give her a big round of applause for that. She plans on studying human capital management, after which she plans on joining the corporate workforce. Congratulations.
Good evening. There's this quote that resonates with me a lot. It's from an Australian claymation film called A Memoir of a Snail. If you've seen the film, you know it's a wild place to take inspiration from. But anyway, it goes like this. Life can only be understood backwards, but we have to live it forwards. But what does that even mean? Throughout our high school experience, we have no doubt run into a multitude of challenges, whether they were personal or affected the entire school. But still, we have persevered. We all have a memory of something that made us think, made us change our approach, made us grow. For me, it was honors pre-calc, taught by the amazing Mr. Gabbard. I remember the many, many times I didn't understand a concept. I still hate Delta math with a burning passion. But every time I would mess up a question, he would sit down by me and explain it step by step. At first, when he did this, I would be so mad. I, of course, knew the right answer. The computer was just wrong. But still, we continued on, and I actually started getting those questions right. Those experiences changed my entire perspective in pre-calc, changed my perspective in life. But what experiences changed your perspective? What made you become who you are today? Who gave you the support that encouraged you to get to this moment today? And are you going to take those experiences, those challenges, that support, and go into the next phase of your life? I know I am. It is going to be hard. All of us are experiencing something so different and new. We are leaving a place that holds our childhood, our friends, and our experiences. But instead of that being something so sad, I'm going to encourage us graduates to look at it as something positive, as it is an actual representation of us carrying through, never giving up, and growing. The quote, "Life can only be understood backwards, but we have to live it forwards," might sound corny and confusing on the surface, but it really is just telling us that instead of sitting within our memories, being weighed down by our mistakes or embarrassing moments, we need to continue on. Never let our past stop us, but instead let it push us to success, and let it be the encouragement for our personal betterment. I congratulate everyone here today. This is not a minor thing in your life. The fact that you all made it here today shows your strength and ambition. I thank you for getting to this moment here today. I thank you for continuing on, even in the face of challenges. And finally, I thank you all for your hard work during our years at the school. The experiences and the memories will not soon be forgotten, not by us, our families, or the underclassmen. May this day be the start of our new chapters, and may those chapters be great. That's the end.
Good job. I would ask Miss Amanda Lawson to join me at the podium. Amanda Lawson is the 2025 valedictorian for our class. Throughout her high school career, Amanda Lawson has participated in a wide range of extracurricular activities that have played a key role in shaping her character and her ambitions. These commitments, including soccer, basketball, softball, marching band, Parkers, CommuniServe, the Chick-fil-A Leadership Academy, and the Newspaper Club. Despite keeping a busy schedule, Amanda has excelled academically, taking on a rigorous course load of AP and honors classes, and still finding time to serve her community with the National Honor Society. Committed to the University of Cincinnati, let's give her a big round of applause. Amanda will major in biomedical engineering in the fall and aspires to pursue a career in medical research for her studies. Congratulations.
Good evening, fellow graduates, and welcome proud family and friends, staff to the commencement of Deer Park's class of 2025. If the number of those looking upon us and the weird outfits we graduates have on didn't make it clear enough, today is a pretty big deal, and I stand before you all with deep reverence and gratitude for the privilege of speaking as your valedictorian. To be honest, I had no idea what I was going to write about in this speech. With countless memories, new and old, coursing through my mind, it was hard to think of only one thing which would properly summarize our collective experiences and do so justifiably. It was at this moment that I was reminded of a basic statistical principle, and an unlikely but fitting analogy followed suit. In statistics, smaller sample sizes often display greater variability than larger sample sizes, meaning that the fewer the people, the more distinct their differences appear. This principle becomes more complicated when applied to actual mathematics because math is hard, but in the context of our class, it becomes clear and meaningful, speaking to my admiration for our collective individuality and uniqueness. As I reflected on distant and recent memories of events such as field days, class trips, athletic games, and pep rallies, no particular memories came to mind. However, a sense of unity always prevailed. We've always shown up, stood out, and stuck together, capable of accomplishing anything we've set our minds to, and today is a testament to that. I encourage you all, family, friends, staff, and especially my fellow graduates to let this moment sink in. Look around you, be present, and remember the journey that brought you to this moment. As a former member of the graduation band, I've watched the classes before us cross this very stage as they take in their last moments as a collective class. It's only now that I can understand what they felt as I look at us all today, and it makes me wonder how we got here so fast. It's a mix of pride and disbelief that I'm glad we all have the privilege to experience. So as we all part ways this evening, some chasing lifelong dreams and others still figuring theirs out, I leave you all with a final reminder. As we've grown together, I've witnessed firsthand the ways in which we've uplifted one another, made space for differences, and celebrated each other's accomplishments, big and small. This community we've cultivated is special, and I hope we can use what we've learned within it to guide us when we face the inevitable hardships and successes of our future. We've earned this moment, graduates. We have what we need to be successful, and now is the time to make use of it. Thank you, and good night.
Members of the class of 2025, you have achieved many outstanding accomplishments during your time at Deer Park High School. We look forward to your future success. At this time, Ms. Bossy, the students before you have met all of the requirements for graduation as set forth by the state of Ohio and the Deer Park Board of Education. You can give them a round of applause. Class of 2025, I want you to know on behalf of Ms. Brown and I, we are proud of you. We love you. At times we have laughed with you. Maybe every once in a while we've laughed at you. But you are an amazing class, and now it is time for the real reason we are here. One last request before we begin. As you can see, parents, grandparents, relatives, and friends are here from all over the United States and abroad to celebrate the many accomplishments of this class. Therefore, please hold your round of applause for these fine graduates until the end, so that each and every graduate and their families can hear their student's name read clearly during the presentation of the diplomas. We will now award the diplomas. Ms. Jonea Brown, Assistant Principal of Deer Park Junior Senior High School, will read the names of our graduates. They will be recognized by our Superintendent, Mr. Jay Phillips, and Board Member, Ms. Peggy Bossy.
Amanda Eliana Lawson. Kaylee Ray Kimberly Atkins. Laura Olivia Bayer. Luke Allen Atkins. Kada Faye Alexander. Isaiah Alford. Maximus Robert Bardell. Ava Mackenzie Behrens. Anthony Dakota Wayne Bronner. Lillian Isabella Bruning. Haley Mae Sismadia. Justin Alexander Denny. Malcolm Alexander Donaldson. He's not there. Go ahead. Stephen Micah Downs. Joseph Aaron Drennan. David Edward Jose Edgington. Devin Lynn Fairbanks. Emma Violet Falcon. Alejandra Josephine Ferris Martinez. Emma Marie Fields. Corey Jacob Finney. Brady Quinn Glanton. William Douglas Gross. Kevin Guzman Mata. Augustus Dean Hammond. Nori Malik Yamir Hayes. Henry Benjamin Hayes. McKenna Brooklyn Hedges. Rocio Hernandez. Samantha Grace Hobdy. Colton Michael Thompson. Antonio Luis Hughes. Sean Lewis Anabnet. James Edward Jackson III. Rihanna Destiny Johnson. Savannah Michelle Jones. Adrielle Nehemiah Kenny. Brooklyn Ann Kreutz. Kylan Bailey Little. Xavier Michael Long. Caroline Marie Laux. Anastasia May Lynn. Taylor Lee Marshall. Kamaya Nicole McBride. Leslie Ann McGibney. Clark Garrison McGowan. Molly Ann McCone. Riley Jonathan McHugh. Vanessa Lynn Miracle Offel. Jaden Herschel Moore. Justin Brandon Moore, Jr. Elena Morales. Trinity Jade Nuxel. Reagan Olivia Osborne. Peyton Nicole Paskins. Emily Pena. Lily Josephine Reed. Adriana Leilani Lee Reno. Dylan Patrick Anthony Rooks. Carter Ray Sawyers. Colin Martin Schneeman. Riley Catherine Sears. Mary Cameron Seeberger. Vincenzo Martin Serger. Clifford Charles Shirky. Dominic Oliver Smith. Joseph Ballard Smith VI. Chance Mitchell Stewart. Jonathan Robert Stroop. Meredith Elaine Suddendorf. Madari Tamaj Felix. Ethan Paul Thomas. Erica Eliza Thomas. Audrey Ann Thompson. Caroline Elise Vitterick. Christopher Troy Ward. Logan Edward Williams. Evie Wilson. Adrian Lucille Wood. Graham Aaron Wood. Last but not least, Noah Joe Weist.
to the senior stand. At this time, I would like to ask Miss Laura Bayer to come to the podium.
My fellow classmates, please join me in turning of the tassel from right to the left side. Which signifies our passage from students to graduates. Congratulations.
First of all, I have to say, you all are an amazing crowd. You were fantastic as the kids came through and everybody got to hear their name. Thank you so much for that. One more time, let's give them a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and honor to present to you the graduating class of 2025 from Deer Park High School. In just a moment, I will ask you to join us in singing of the alma mater. The lyrics can be found on the back of your program. Thank you for joining us this evening. At this time, would you please join us as the seniors head on out? Thank you for coming this evening.